In Power Rangers, as you need to have the right story to tell, you also need to have the characters to help drive the story forward. As there are characters in the story, they need to have the correct roles to contribute into making the storytelling its most effective. The introduction doesn't need to be any longer. About the characters, I think it's best to categorize in order to explain properly. First, the Power Rangers, of course. Power Rangers is about the Power Rangers. So, of course, the ones who get to transform into spandex suits are given the most prioritizing and scrutinizing. The requirements are that these people have fighting skills at an acceptable level and be true of heart, most importantly. I mean, I doubt anyone wants to see any Power Ranger go rogue and turn against the rest of the team. And as we see them doing their duties, there ought to be at least some character development, and in a sense that whatever character flaws that a main hero would have, everything about it is resolved, and that hero is a better person. It's also nice to have each and every hero unique by having different talents, inspirations, and interests. Also, when it works, and only when it works, certain Power Rangers can have the same personality traits and character behavior as the Super Sentai counterparts who wore the same suits. I do think it can be toned down with the Alien Rangers. I said that because they were the primary focus on only a miniseries, which resulted the show evolving into a franchise, and they were only meant to fill in for the original or current Power Rangers when they couldn't morph. I know they also appeared again in the Zeo season, but there's an explanation for that. My basic suggestion is that throughout the episodes that we get to see them, we get to know just enough about them. Another thing about the main heroes, call this next point unnecessary if you like, but each Power Ranger should have respectful screen time. The main Power Rangers within their respective shows should have the majority of screen time, while Sixth Rangers and additional Rangers, and even extra heroes under the same status, will be shared the screen time upon debut between a half and 2/3 way into a series. Personally, I dislike how it was done in Dino Charge. 10 Rangers and 3 of them got the least attention because of 2 seasons and 20 episodes per season. So each Power Ranger should have screen time at best suited amounts, and there should be enough seasons of enough episodes for it to be. Now, it doesn't have to be that each Power Rangers team should appear in only their respective seasonal series. They can also have guest appearances and even cameos in future seasons. If that is to ever happen, it's done in a way that they're not dumbed down. I personally would like several of these people to show up on the show before they become Power Rangers. If it's the case that a Power Ranger can be anyone, some viewers ought to be astonished to see that a chosen one is someone that was on screen already. And I like that. Oh, and one more thing. Give each person being a Power Ranger a different name and a different surname. It's actually rare, but there are Power Rangers with same names. I guess two Rangers with the same first name aren't as big of a deal for the people who say that they can be easily sorted by identifying which Rangers they are of which team. With regards to the surnames, on the other hand, if two Rangers of different teams have the same surname, it leaves several fans confused as to whether they're related or not. And it's an instance that did occur several times on the shows. See for yourself. So to summarize, the individuals being Power Rangers should be as fleshed out as possible and necessary, have significant screen time, and have completely different names. Next, there are the antagonists of Power Rangers. If or when you think about it, reusing who are identified as villains of a Super Sentai series isn't even merely a bad thing, especially when it's just the costumes and it's only a matter of which English-speaking people are going to wear them for that adaptation. But enough about that. In each installment, there is a team of kind of enemies that needs to be fended off by a team of Power Rangers. But not all of these groups have the same reason for invading Earth, and neither the same method of doing it. Perhaps this is something that the franchise as it is can get right. What I think the franchise does not do right is that some enemies that are thought to be permanent history are revived in such a way that it results in no sense being heard. If you want an example, how about Lord Zed and Sledge? Weren't they dealt with once and for all? How were they brought back and why? Hopefully I don't have to say the same for many of the one-episode enemies. You can be completely sure that there are all kinds. They are sent to do something but are stopped in their tracks by the heroes, regardless of how it's done. In the case of the enemies, what to expect from them is they invade Earth for not all the same reason. And once they are dealt with, they can never be seen again. And if any of them, albeit the main ones, have to come back, there has to be a logical explanation for it. Oh, and give each of them a different name as well. As for other characters, those who serve as teachers and assistants of the Power Rangers, and even those people who are close friends or even family members of them, as well as anyone calibrated to have secondary roles or recurring appearances, the screen time they get is a generous amount. And those who are meant to appear in one episode or no more than a few, nothing much has to happen to them. Simply give them enough personality to last them so that they are not overall one-dimensional. So that's what I want happening for the characters of Power Rangers. The ones who wear the suits get the most work. Enemies are understood with their included motivations, and other characters are treated like they also have important roles. It's not like that in the franchise that it is, and I'm aware of that, and that's why I'm implementing it in the franchise in my mind. Hence the fan-made openings. Now I want to know from you. Do you think Power Rangers should handle its characters better? And which characters do you think should have been handled better? Also, who are your favorite characters in the franchise? Comment your answers, and thanks for watching.